Hello everyone, how's it going today? It's Tatsuki. I share the history and culture of Japan in this channel. Recently, I'm gradually interested in world history as well. When I was studying the history of Japan, I realized Japan has been affected by many countries. So I want to know about the histories of not only Japan but also other countries. Each country has its own interesting history, but you know there are many countries on the earth, about 200? Too many to study one of each in detail. So I thought I wish there were videos that focuses only on the overview of the histories and explain them simply. I think it's really useful, don't you think? So today I want to talk about an overview of history of Japan. I leave other countries to you guys. I look forward to it. I want you to use this video as a map for studying history of Japan. Okay, so are you guys ready? Let's get started. There were a bunch of events I want to introduce, but I chose only a few important things to explain the history briefly. I divided the era in Japan into 5 parts. No leader, governed by emperor, governed by samurai, governed by emperor again, and democracy. In Japan, there has been a society of hunting and gathering until around 4th or 5th century BC. But the technique to farm rice came to Japan and it changed the lives of Japanese people. In one theory, the root was from Korean peninsula. The technique made the gap between rich and the poor because some people were able to reserve crops and extend their land. And some landowners became strong, and one of them, who is later called Tenno, has gradually governed Japan. Tenno means emperor. In 645, a Japanese emperor defeated other authorities and started centralization to strengthen unity of Japan. The policy was necessary to protect Japan from other countries, especially China being very strong at that time. And then the name of the country Japan started from around 700. During that time, there was a rule that if farmers converted wasteland into new fields, they were able to get them. That might seem normal, but not normal in that time because the government owned the entire land in Japan, and it originally lent the land to farmers for collection of tax. Rice was paid as tax, but many farmers gave up farming due to heavy tax. So the government decided to implement a law to motivate them to farm. Some landowners extended their own land and started to hire guards for protecting their lands. This is the beginning of samurai. Demand for samurai has gradually increased and they became strong, and samurais were starting to hold the reins of the politics. Yoritomo Minamoto started the politics by samurai in 1185 and emperor lost their power. After that, there were many battles between strong generals including Nobunaga Oda, Hideyoshi Toyotomi, Ieyasu Tokugawa, and so on. The genre changed a couple of times, but the time of samurai has lasted for a long time. However, in 1853, black fleets came to Japan for trade, and Japan feared colonization by the great powers of Europe and America because the armies were much stronger than that of Japan. I talked about this event many times in this channel. That's how it was significant for Japan. After that, Japan split into 2 sides, conservatives and reformists. Tokugawa, who was the general of the old government, leads the conservative, and Ryoma Sakamoto, Takamori Saigo, Takayoshi Kido, and so on took a leading place in the reformists with the backing of Japanese emperor. The powers of them were almost the same, but reformists won this battle because they introduced the advanced technology of Europe and America quickly. That meant the end of the time of samurai and the emperor got the political power back. New government proceeded with westernization more to strengthen Japan, and Japan developed in the blink of an eye. This is one of the reasons why Japan won the battles with powers China and Russia in 1894 and 1904. Although many people thought Japan would develop steadily, Japan faced a world economic crisis in 1929. The crisis damaged the economy of Japan, so Japan decided to colonize neighboring countries to survive. But Europe and USA didn't overlook that. Japan got into a scrape, finally lost World War II. The political power was removed from the emperor by DHQ, and they made Japan introduce the concept of national sovereignty. This was very important because Japanese people got sovereignty for the first time. Before that, the people were told that the emperor was a true descendant of gods and the emperor has had sovereignty. Okay, let me sum up my talk. We knew that the political power in Japan was going back and forth between emperor and samurai. And finally, Japanese people got sovereignty through World War II. Do you catch the overall flow of the history? I think watching the overview makes studying easy. So I hope this video will be your support for studying the history of Japan. Okay, so many thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any requests to this channel. Coronavirus is going around like crazy recently, so take care of yourself. See you next video.